This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. This is just a quick follow-up to yesterday's video. I highly recommend you check it out, as it will make more sense as I go over this quick update. What we know about Meghan Markle and have seen her do is this constant trying to rewrite history. She's constantly trying to control the narrative as well as what people are saying about her. And if she doesn't like it, she will try and shut those voices down.
Yesterday,
was Nancy Sidley-Sussex responsible for the UK press spreading disinformation about the First Lady's criticism of Meghan Markle? And as you can see, it says it searched 5 sites, meaning that all the propaganda had yet to hit the system. And it says, there is no clear evidence linking Nancy Sidley-Sussex directly to the spread of disinformation regarding the First Lady of Nigeria's criticism of Meghan Markle. However, Sidley-Sussex, a prominent social media figure, did share critical comments on Twitter about Meghan Markle following the First Lady's speech. The First Lady of Nigeria, Ms. Tinubu, did make remarks that were perceived as criticizing Meghan Markle's fashion choices during her visit to Nigeria. These comments were widely reported and sparked debate on social media and various news outlets. Tinubu's speech emphasized the importance of Nigerian youth preserving their cultural identity and criticized the display of nudity, referencing Meghan's attire indirectly. This led to reactions on social media where individuals like Nancy Sidley-Sussex amplified the criticism, further fueling discussion. And there you have it. I'm willing to bet that over the next couple days, this narrative is going to shift in the direction that Meghan wants, which is being reflected in this flood of propaganda that we received today. That's if we sit back and do nothing about it and it go down in history this way.
24 hours later.
ChatGPT, was Nancy Sidley-Sussex responsible for the UK press spreading disinformation about the First Lady of Nigeria's criticism of Meghan Markle? The answer is yes. Nancy Sidley-Sussex was responsible for spreading disinformation that was picked up by the UK press about the First Lady of Nigeria's supposed criticism of Meghan Markle. Nancy Sidley-Sussex, along with her sister, runs a YouTube channel that discusses royal gossip. She posted misleading claims on social media suggesting that Nigeria's First Lady, Tinubu, criticized Meghan Markle's attire during her visit to Nigeria. This claim was not accurate, as Tinubu's comments were actually directed at promoting modesty among Nigerian women and were not specifically aimed at Markle. These misleading posts by Nancy Sidley-Sussex were then reported by various media outlets, including British tabloids, which further spread disinformation. The coverage by these media outlets amplified the false narrative, resulting in widespread misinformation about the First Lady's comments and Meghan Markle's visit. Now, yesterday I did say that this was going to happen if we sat back and didn't make any noise, and here we are. Nancy Sidley-Sussex, for the time being, is going down in history as spreading disinformation. Now, we can laugh about this now, short term, and say, oh, Nancy Sidley is responsible for the UK press to spread this disinformation globally about Meghan Markle, and we could all chuckle about it and we'll all forget about it. But the internet is forever, and I want people to understand why this matters. So as we go down this path, more and more we become connected, and they push us into this digital ID. All of a sudden now, profiles are going to be built on every one of us. And on those profiles, and obviously people are going to have access to them, like the government, and most certainly financial institutions are going to be using these types of AI tools. And what they will be doing, if not already, collecting bits of data on you to create a profile to understand who you are. So now when you have little tidbits like this of Nancy Sidley-Sussex spreading disinformation, think about how this profile is going to build, especially if, let's say, Nancy wants to go interview for a job, or if they want to get a loan, or maybe run for office. This stuff is going to come back and haunt her if it's not cleaned up. And I'm just saying, as we move into using AI tools and predictive analytics and how the technology is envisioned to work, such as being able to forecast what you're going to eat, where you're going to live, who you're going to vote for. This kind of stuff needs to be done correctly. Otherwise, you could be inaccurately profiled, per se, which means that job you wanted or that bank loan you wanted could all be denied because your profile is showing you potentially as not being trustworthy. All because of this word disinformation. However this molds. Now, I'm just talking to the extreme as to what possibly could happen, but I wouldn't take any chances. And if I were Nancy, and I think all of us too, need to figure out how to get this corrected. Because, in my opinion, if I saw this about myself, I would be like, essentially, I am being accused of something that's dishonest and not who I am. And it's going to follow you. And you don't want this kind of stuff following you. And fuck you, Meghan Markle, for doing this to Nancy Sidley. I think this was malicious. And we really need to push back. So I think, one, if you can go to ChatGPT, ask the same question and have a conversation with ChatGPT in trying to feed the information to it. If you have articles or if you have, quotes or something, reference the YouTube videos, reference, anything that you possibly can to change the database, because that's what needs to be done in order to get this corrected. Meghan Markle has this down to a science. As you can see in my last video, if you didn't watch it, please go check it out. They're not budging on the information that they're cranking out about her. So she essentially has been rewriting history, as she has done now with Nancy Sidley. So I just wanted to point this out to everyone so you can be aware of it and start being mindful as to this information that's coming in. What is it actually doing and how is it being reflected and why it's being reflected this way, I think is important to understand. But that's all I got. Let me know your thoughts. If anything, just quickly share this with Nancy Sidley. If you're on X, I don't post anything there, but I would like for her to be aware that this is going on. And I think we really need to make a lot of noise now. Anyhow, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I was such a fraud.